Mm. Well, back down again, and we got tides wrong. We're supposed to be coming down next weekend, but plans have changed, so we come down today and they're nearly all in, and somebody's feeding the budgies down there. Well, we'll see if we can find anything. And if you need to lark, if you want to lark on the River Thames, you do need a permit from the Port of London authorities. Well, you can see all the mud that's up at the top there. That's what it's usually like, and that when tide were going out before the clipper boats, Uber boats, or whatever you want to call them nowadays, started. And that's what it used to be like all over the place before they started washing it all away. Well, a couple of plain bits. Another plain bit. A bit with some stripes on. Oh, that's certainly or not. But we'll take it. Well, see if there's anything along the water's edge. Well, I've just picked this bit up, and I think that's a bit of floor tile. Very old. Bit it's worn away. Well, I just managed to rescue it out before it got washed out. Well, our first bit of pipe stem for down here, but like you say, back home I'll be ecstatic about a piece that size, but down here, nope. Let's get that before it gets washed away. What are you doing? You can leave me fingers, you know. There's Thames ones back home. Huh? There's Thames ones back home. Yeah, alright. Gotta watch where you're putting your feet when you... We're keeping away from the flappy things down here. What are you doing? That's your lot. Gotta watch where you're putting your feet. Well, I've got a new lot of followers now. More minions. Well, there's quite an old pot there. I'll just give that a quick swill off. And a little bit there. A bit lazy, I think. I'll leave that enough of it. Just a bit of willow edging, I think. Storage pot, I enough big chunks like that. Can you spot the fine? Just there. And I'm going to leave that. Well, not too many finds on there today. So I'm just going to have a look at the other bit just over there now, but well, try this other little bit, just the tide's coming in, see if we can get out here. I've had a few bits of tinglays, but that's usually all pebbles and it's all sand today. So, changed again. Well, a lot of mud that weren't washed off when tide were going out. That'll be hiding lots of things. Well, now that's willow. And there's a lot of cheering going on in the background on the boat going past. A bit of pie crust edging from a comb slipware dish. That's good. Yeah, a bit of floor blue there. Right. On both sides. I'll pick it up. Oh. A tiny little bit, I think, and music started now. Look away if you don't like them. On big tooth there. And a bit of modern glass. So you can see it. Guinness harp on there. Well, this bit, the last few times I've come, that's just been all gravel and such like. It's all sand now. Shows you how much it changes with different tides. Let's go before I get cut off there. Just before it gets washed away. Yeah, a bit of willow, and there's always some willow. Getting wet feet now. Oh, a couple of bits I picked up. Pegged roof tile. Very nice pieces. Well, some of my plastic for today, I'll put that in bin. I'm just about to get washed out. Well, water's very well up here. No mudlarking without a wetsuit. And there's still nobody hanging about there with the prospect of Whitby. Right, the finds from our third and final trip down to the Thames, or on that trip down to London. And a bit of Asiatic. And a few bits of willow, I should think. Well, that's definitely willow. Knowing the bits that are on there, that's probably willow. As we know, there is always some willow. And what a bit I thought was Asiatic at first, but it's probably another pattern. And what I was hoping was slipware. It might still be a slipware, but I think it's more later, probably part of a beaker or a cup. But it does have that slip look to it there. And the band we Fair Home, probably dropped off somebody. But a couple of chunks, probably medieval, late medieval roof tile, one with a round peg hole in. You can see it's been punched in from that side, as it's wider there than the back part. And one with a big square peg hole. I do like these. Yeah. Still on the lookout for one with footprints or fingerprints in. But one of these days I'll find a piece. And a bit of a pipe stem, 2 Warrenfoot markings. And a nice little bit of transfer wear. Probably a big soup bowl. Or soup dish, should I say. Nice pattern on that. And good. Various bits of blue and white. Probably hand painted there. That looks like a bit of tin glazed. And a bit with some blue on. Probably a floor blue, but it looks of the way that blue goes. And a couple of little bits of blue. Do look to be hand painted. That's probably transfer, but I don't really know. They're all single-sided, but nice bits. And 2 bits of the slipware, one with just a straight line on. But this got a bit of the edging, the pie crust edging, as you can see there. Like somebody's taken the teeth to it to crimp it. And a bit of the combed slipware on there. I need to find a bigger piece of that. I do like it. I do like this slipware stuff. Same with the tin glaze. I do like that. And this. If it'll focus. That's better. I think this is part of a medieval floor tile. And don't know what age it is, but across from where I found this, across on the north side of the river, there's a big white building with a big dome on the top. And the original one got burnt down in 1666. So this could be a bit, I like to think this, from the old St. Paul's, when they cleared it away to build the new one for when Christopher Wren built it. Or it could just be some out of the other houses that burnt down there. But I like to think that. And you can see just a bit of decoration on there. Nothing all that much. But one day I will find a bigger piece of something like this. Something with a bit more embossing on and a bit more pattern. But well, what bits are we going to use in one of the frames of fame? I just thought of that name then. If anybody can think of a better one for it, definitely going to get that piece in. Well, we'll see what we put in there. Right, another one of these frames, and let's see what finds we put in this time. Just a few finds, bit of tin glaze, some blue painted and printed, and probably a bit of slipware, and definitely a bit of pie crust edge slipware, and a little bit of transfer print. So yeah. I'm moving about a bit, but we can live with that. Yeah. Now this little bit, a bit of tile, and you can make out where the slip's been poured into, where it's been like pressed in with a stamp, and then slip filled into the gaps. Not quite fired high enough, but enough to set it. And that's just going in a little one. Now it proves you can even put a big chunk like that in. And the stand should stop it popping open. Oh yeah, that's them two for the not crafting craft. Well, it's goodbye from me, Mary and the ducks.